All right, today's top story that I wanted to talk about is someone got their hands on a Switch 2 early, filmed an unboxing that got up to about 6,000 views. That's all it took. And it was immediately taken down for a copyright claim. The video itself, I think, was like 8 seconds long, and it was literally just them with the Switch 2 box, opening it to reveal the tablet, which took the full length of the box, so it was a beefy boy, and then the two Joy-Con 2s. What was a lot more revealing than the unboxing was the comment section, including a reply from the person who uploaded the unboxing that tells us a little more about the functionality of the Switch 2. And obviously, with the video being taken down, even though there's lots of re-uploads that you could probably search for, I'm not going to show them right here, but the comment section is something you can't search for, not even on Wayback Machine. It wasn't archived. However, I did screen grab a bunch of the comments. So let's get into those. And for every time the like button gets clicked, I will lick a Nintendo Switch 1 cartridge. And stay tuned if you're looking for updates for pre-orders on places like Costco and GameStop, because I've got a little bit of information on that as well at the end of the video. Okay, this one right here is the most important one because this is the only comment out of all 175 comments that the uploader actually replied to. So someone said, "More video, please." And he replied, "Nintendo locked the Switch 2. It needs update to function, so I am waiting for June 5th to unlock it." Now, don't worry, if you're wondering how this person got it or exactly what they did with the system, I have information on that combined with the theory to give you all the lore. So after we look at these comments, don't worry, I'll tell you what happened. But now let's go over to the top comments for a second. And the only reason I don't have all 175 comments is because the video was taken down while I was recording me trying to screen grab them all. However, I did read every single one, so that's how I know the one that I just showed you is the only one that got a response from the creator. But the rest of the top comments are pretty much what you'd expect. Ro is going to get absolutely bodied by the ninjas for this. I never pre-watched a death on shorts. Mario on his way with an Uzi. Thanks for showing it off. Now run. The Nintendo ninjas are coming. Friend of the channel, Austin John Plays. So, you looking to sell it? LOL. All right, now come on. He's obviously joking. At least I'm pretty sure he's joking. Knew someone would do this, but literally a day after appearing in warehouses is wild. And that is a great segue, because I do think the timing of this is no coincidence. As you can see, this photo I shared on Twitter the other day of a bunch of Switch 2s sitting in the middle of an aisle on the sales floor at a Target, just locked in a cage, but the cage is on wheels. Seems pretty inviting if you're a thief, right? But in all seriousness, I do think there's probably some cases where people have stolen Switch 2s. I do not think this video is one of them. I think that this is most likely someone that works at a retailer, whether it be Target, Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, anyone that's going to have them at launch, right? If you look at the unboxing, they literally open the box and don't touch a single thing. They don't disturb anything. They don't lift anything up. They open the box and shut the box, and that's it. So I think it's someone that works at one of these retailers that was like, well, I'm not going to steal it, but I can look because of the way Nintendo does their packaging. There might just be like a sticker on it that they could unpeel and then peel. There might be no sticker. Most of the Switch 1 and Switch OLED boxes, there's no sticker. You can just open up the cardboard, take a peek, and shut it. And that's what this person did. So their comment is interesting, where it says, "Nintendo locked the Switch 2. It needs update to function, so I'm waiting for June 5th to unlock it." Now, I do think that's true, but I think we know that information because the back of the box actually says that on the Switch 2. So I don't think this person tried to turn it on. However, there are reports of other people with the Switch 2 who have tried to turn it on, and they've tried to play Switch 1 games, and they get an error message. And that error message says, you need to connect to the internet to update your system before we can let you play this game. So that is a bigger concern, that you have to connect to the internet with this system and do an update before you can even play games that are fully on the cartridge. That's a whole nother can of worms I'm going to talk about. But when it comes to this unboxing and this video, I think this was a very not well thought out decision. I do understand their mindset of like, I'm not taking it. I'm not stealing it. I'm not committing a crime. I'm opening the box and shutting the box and putting it back and not touching anything inside the box. How could I get in trouble for this? But I think at the end of the day, they could end up probably losing their job if this gets out in any way, and potentially facing some kind of legal action from Nintendo. Nintendo sued Genki, a third-party accessory manufacturer, just for showing what the Switch 2 looked like. There is a copyright lawsuit. This video was taken down for copyright infringement. I'm pretty sure, since you're on YouTube, you have a Gmail, Google probably has ways to get your information and relay that to Nintendo if there is a subpoena. So I just don't think this was a smart decision. At the end of the day, even if nothing happens, was it really worth the risk of potentially having something bad happen? For what? To show people something that Nintendo showed us a bunch of times that let people play it in their hands? We just haven't seen it within the official packaging yet. This doesn't really benefit anyone. It's not like, oh, okay, this helps me. It's just interesting to see, but we can all wait a few more days to see that. At the end of the day, I think the most concerning thing to come out of all of this is the fact that, yes, you have to connect to the internet and do that day one update before your Switch 2 will function at all. To some people, that's a huge deal, and it's honestly a deal breaker. But I think most people, there's already been decisions Nintendo's made that has made this a deal breaker already. Like the fact that their terms of service now says that they can brick any Switch 2 for whatever reason they want. I think the people that were not going to buy a Switch 2 still will not buy them. I don't think this put anyone over the fence as the last straw, but it for sure is annoying and definitely not something I enjoy as a consumer. I said I had some update on pre-order information, and that is that Costco will be having Switch 2s in store at open on launch day in person. And I know of some stores that are getting anywhere from 50 to 100 units. You may be able to purchase online, but I don't know if they're going to have the online purchases set up for launch day, or that'll be starting on June 6th, which is the day after launch. A lot of places like Target are doing that. And I do know that like 50 to 100 per store that I told you, that actually is reserved for walk-in. So there's no way someone can scoop that up online before the store opens. That is just for in-person customers on launch day. If you didn't see how Target is doing their launch day, you can check that out right here. I also have a link about Best Buy in the description, and you can check out GameStop right here. The update to GameStop is, even though they've publicly announced on their social media that they're doing a launch day event starting at 3 p.m., where you can go in and pre-order a console on June 4th at 3 p.m. your local time, and then come and pick it up at midnight if you don't have a pre-order. A lot of people have been calling GameStops, and those GameStop employees are letting them know that they're not doing that event. I still think most GameStops will end up doing that event, and the safest thing you can do is call on like June 2nd or June 3rd your local GameStop to ask if they'll allow any pre-orders at 3 p.m. But if your store is not participating, your store is not participating. There are many stores that are participating, but if it is indeed a store-by-store basis, you're going to want to call your store, and you're going to want to call as close to the date as possible to confirm. As you can see, we've got multiple instances of GameStop, their official Twitter, confirming this themselves. But again, if they don't want to do what they're publicly announcing they're going to do, at the end of the day, it's up to your local store. So I wanted to include that in this video as well. But we've got a big Walmart update video coming up and more Costco information as well. So this is just a tidbit to tie you over. If you enjoyed the video, leave me a like and let me know what you think of this crazy unboxing situation. It was interesting, at least. We got a fun little video out of it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.